You're listening to the 3 Feet Radio Show with Ben Carbonaro and Luke Herbert. From our studios come special guests and netball commentary, exclusively on YouTube.
Any loss in audio quality in this program is due to the fact that news outlets covering events in the Middle East attempted to hijack the 3 Feet Radio satellite to broadcast their own news programs.
Good morning and welcome again to the 3 Feet Radio Show. Joining me in the studio is Luke Herbert. G'day, Luke.
G'day, Ben. How are you doing today?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And I must say, I'm extremely excited. We've got the Constellation Cup starting. Unfortunately, the Silver Ferns went down, but they got an opportunity to redeem themselves against the Australian Diamonds in Melbourne on Wednesday night.
And they certainly do. And you know, there's only one way out for the Silver Ferns from here, and that's upwards. So that'll be the good news. But anyway, Ben, why don't you introduce our guest?
I most certainly will. And joining us today is Silver Fern Grace Rasmussen. Hi, Grace. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
First of all, great to be back in the black dress despite the result last Thursday night.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's been a wee while since I've worn the black dress, actually 4 years now. So, definitely it's been great with feeling it's been great being back in the black dress. But yeah, disappointed with the result, 17-point loss against Aussies, which wasn't that great of a start.
And just sort of switching gears here, back to the ANZ Championship. Do you feel that your move to the Waikato Bay Plenty Magic has paid dividends following on from the years that you played at the Mystics?
Yeah, definitely. And I think particularly playing under the coaching of Julie Fitzgerald, who's come across from Sydney Smith, you know, I've learned a great deal off her. And, I think I'm a better player because of that move that I made down there.
I've known Julie for a little while now as a coach, Grace. What did you take out of her coaching you feel that made your game better and therefore helped you be recalled to the Silver Ferns?
Yeah, I think she's obviously got that insight knowledge of how the Australians play, and so that resilience against it, and making sure that, just the small things like taking your feet to the ball and change of direction and all those small things that actually make a difference out on court when you're under the pump and under pressure against those Aussies and do that type one-on-one marking. So, that was great for me as a player, and I think that I'll put that in place in my game, and, that's potentially why I'm wearing the dress now.
And just speaking of you as a player, being of Samoan heritage, how special was it to make your international debut for the Silver Ferns against Samoa in Wellington back in 2010?
Oh, yeah, no, it was absolutely amazing feeling. I can remember lining up on the line and, singing your national anthem, but at the same time prior to that, looking across and, the Samoan singing their national anthem. So in my head, I was sort of singing along to both. So, it was absolutely great feeling. And, I can remember that day like it was yesterday. And, it's just, it hasn't been smooth sailing since then, but, it was a great moment, particularly in my netball career.
As you said, Grace, and I did see a bit of the game myself, was a 17-point loss to Aussie in the first test back over there in New Zealand. But what is why and the rest of the coaching staff identified as areas for improvement heading into tomorrow night in Melbourne?
Yeah, I think the main thing was our position rate. We get 50% of the ball in a netball game, so it's making sure that we are scoring our own centre passes, and then anything above and beyond that is a bonus. So I think that it's making sure that we trigger position and bring the ball down from one end of the court to the other. And it's, when things get tough out there, it's making sure that we collectively pull together and push through those times.
All right, we have to ask this next question, because if we don't, we're going to get a stream of emails from our listeners demanding to know why we didn't. But has Y suggested that there could be some changes to the starting Silver Ferns starting 7, or will she stick with the settled lineup? Does she give much away?
In trainings we run different combinations. She doesn't give too much in regard to the starting lineup, but I have been running in a few lines, so that's promising for myself. But so we find out a little later on today who the starting lineup is. So we're not 100% sure, but the coaches are pretty stone faced, so they don't give much away. So in terms of where you're at as a player, particularly myself on the fringe, trying to get a starting spot. You can't really read much into anything. So hopefully we'll find out later on today.
And what has Amelia Wells brought to the group? I've known her a little while now through my involvement of covering predominantly the Australian teams. I'm sure she's very enthusiastic, and she's probably a bunch of laughs for you girls too.
Oh, that Vicky Wilson? Sorry.
No. I said Amelia Wells. What has Amelia Wells brought to the group so far? Amelia Wells I know her a little bit personally, and she's a very funny girl.
Oh yeah, no, she's a great player. Both on and off court, she's a good sort, and I think she's actually a great player considering her age, and she's only 23, so she's up and coming, and her height, and she's very agile in the circle and is able to turn and pop those long shots away too. So it definitely as I said before, she's quite the character off the court, but I'm not too sure about her accent though. A few times that we couldn't quite understand what she was saying, but she's a great laugh and she's a great person.
I can remember 15 years ago being teased about my Australian accent when I was first over here, but just sort of switching gears a little bit since we're speaking of the past, what can you remember of playing for the Auckland Diamonds in the National Bank Cup?
Shucks, yeah, no, that was a wee while ago now. Definitely showing my age, but Auckland Diamonds, I was fortunate enough to be selected in the last year of the National Bank Cup, and that was under the coaching of Sue Hawkins, which was actually another Australian coach. Learned, ample from her. So, I think I was young, but still at high school, so I was in my last year of, Amdale College, but I can just remember, trying to just embrace everything, taking as much of the experience as I could, and it's definitely good seed for obviously my next career, and it was a good year.
And obviously too, Grace, you're in your final year of school back then. Were you a bit in awe? You're like, wow, I watch these guys on the TV, but now I'm playing them. That sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I can remember playing along the likes of Emma Robury and those guys who actually firmed at that stage. So it was, definitely looking up to them and making sure that I obviously wasn't starting at that stage of getting much court time, but was definitely just taking in as much as I could off them, and it's definitely paid dividends now.
Just a light-hearted question here before we wrap up, and while Ben mulls over his cup of coffee, no doubt, at his end. When you're on tour with the Silver Ferns, who is your favourite and least favourite teammate to room with, and why?
Oh, that's a hard one. I'd probably have to say, so my most favourite roomies would be Liana's Floyd. She's pretty hard case on and off court. She can never laugh, and she's pretty laxed out. And the most least player I'd like to room with would, not least, but would probably have to be Laura Lehman. Or she is pretty. She's just because she's always on the go, and if anyone who knows me, I'm pretty laxed out, and I don't have trouble just sort of letting down and watching telly. But she's always had something to do. She's pretty on the go all the time. So but she's a great player. Love her to bits.
All right, Grace, thanks very much for joining us today, and good luck for the test in Melbourne tomorrow night.
Cheers, appreciate it, bud.
Thank you. See you later.
You've been listening to the 3 Feet Radio Show with Ben Carbonaro and Luke Herbert. Tune in next time for more special guests and netball commentary exclusively on YouTube.